Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Marketing Kit. So during my entire journey, I'll try to help those freshers to connect the bridge between the academic and actual work field. তো যেটা হয়েছে যে I'm a BBA student for marketing, and I have my BBA and MBA major in marketing. And yes, it's very common that BBA is a scam. But to some extent, the knowledge you have during your academic progression from BBA, to some extent, could help you out when you are in a survival mode in your very first job. What I'd like to address. Um, তো এখানে আমি যেটা চেষ্টা করব যে ভেরি লাইক ভেরি রিয়েল লাইফ এক্সাম্পল আমি দেওয়ার ট্রাই করব যেটা আ আমি নিজে ফেস করছি আমার আ কেরিয়ার প্রোগ্রেশন এ। তো সেটাই আমি তোমাদের সাথে শেয়ার করব। উম তো এখন আ আমরা যখন পড়াশোনা করি, আ ধরো আমরা বিবিএ মেজর ইন মার্কেটিং নিয়ে যারা আছি তারা হয়তো এইভাবে চিন্তা করতেছি বা বিবিএ তে যারা আছি। ওকে, I'll start my career with very big MNC like Unilever, Reckitt, Marico, BAT, okay, or with some telco brand like Banglalink, Grameenphone, Rovi. But eventually, competition is there, and sometimes it's not that much possible to manage that job. And then what I have observed, like someone have their own startup, someone is actually going abroad for higher study or something. Someone is actually working with some mediocre organization for the very first, and most of from my POV, I found most of are actually working as TO, the territory officer, for some MNCs, also some local conglomerates. Yeah, that's the real scenario, I guess. And when we are the marketing student, we are very much compassionate about like ওকে আমি ব্র্যান্ড নিয়ে কাজ করব, এই সেই এটা ওইটা ব্র্যান্ড মানে তো হচ্ছে একটা আর কি বিশাল ব্যাপার-স্যাপার। কিন্তু এন্ড অফ দ্য ডে আর কি বাংলাদেশ কনটেক্সটে আসলে ব্র্যান্ডিং জিনিসটা যে মার্কেটিং এর ভিতরে একটা স্মল আইসবার্গ, এটা আসলে খুব হাড়ে হাড়িতে টের পাওয়া যায়। এবং by end of the day, every business has that truth matrix, that how much revenue or how much sales you are generating in that organization, and that will help you to determine the value. Not that any vanity metrics like তুমি ব্র্যান্ডিং এ কাজ করছো, এই ক্যাম্পেইনটা লঞ্চ করছো। তো এই ধরনের ব্যাপার-স্যাপারগুলা ওইভাবে অতটাও ম্যাটার করে না। If until or unless you have a very good performance on top line, that is on revenue or sales. সেলস যদি ভালো পারফরম্যান্স না থাকে তাহলে আসলে ব্র্যান্ডিং অ্যান্ড এটা আসলে ওইভাবে কোনো ভ্যালুয়েশন এড করবে না। হ্যাঁ, লং টার্মে ইটস ব্র্যান্ডিং ইজ ভেরি ইম্পোর্টেন্ট, বাট দ্য ট্রুথ ম্যাট্রিক্স ইজ ইউ হ্যাভ টু ফলো, you have to actually ensure that the top line or revenue sales being generated with your activities. আর এটা তো আসলে সিঙ্গেল কোনো এফোর্ট না যে কোনো একটা অর্গানাইজেশনে আল্টিমেটলি সেলস ড্রাইভ করা। সো ইটস এ কম্বাইন এফোর্ট। সো ওই কম্বাইন এফোর্টে তুমিও একটা পার্ট হিসেবে থাকবা অ্যাজ এ ব্র্যান্ড মার্কেটিং টিম, পারফরম্যান্স মার্কেটিং টিম, অ্যান্ড I will help to actually facilitate the sales actually. And that's how it's been operating. তো এইখানে যেটা ফিল করি, উম অ্যাজ এ মার্কেটিং প্রফেশনালস, আমাদের সবারই তো স্বপ্ন থাকে যে ঠিক আছে আমি কোনো একটা এফএমসিজি আইটেম নিয়ে কাজ শুরু করব। আমি কোনো একটা এমএনসি বা টেলকোতে আমার কেরিয়ার স্টার্ট করব। বাট রিয়ালিটি ইজ উই হ্যাভ টু স্টার্ট আওয়ার কেরিয়ার উইথ লাইক most often not that desired, but I started my career with some very technical product, and it is backup power solution. So yeah, I have some different experience and different POV. Point of view I'll share with you. Like very first আমি যখন জয়েন করি তখন I have to take my preparation for my interview, right? So when I came to know that okay, you are going to select for those SBU, and then you have to say some interview with the top managements like ED, MD. Then of course I need to have it desires some actually preparation, you know. So our product, very first product was like generator. তো আমি যখন আরকি এটা নিয়ে স্টাডি শুরু করলাম for the preparation of my interview, like we found some too many technical jargons like uh, engineering aspects like what will be the kVA for generator, what will be the ampere, then what will be the output ratings, then what will be the engine, what will be the alternator, and so on like this. So what I actually did, I actually had some study and figure out that okay, yeah, I can actually connect the dot. And when it's time for the interview, then actually when my uh, top management like EDMD asked me the question on this, I was very comfortable with, and actually with my academic progression and yeah, I connect the dot and had delivered a very good reply, and eventually I secured the job. And আহ, যেটা হয় এখানে আমি আমার যে প্রথম চাকরিটা পাই এটা বিডি জবসের থ্রুতেই পাই আর কি। তো এইখানে আর কি টোটাল আমাকে পাঁচটা স্টেজে আ স্টেজ কভার করে তারপরে আরকি আমি আমার জবটা সিকিউর করি। তো okay, it's fine. I have my very first job and salary was like above 30, like around 35K for the very first I started. But I figure out some real life challenges like you have to make the competitor analysis. You need to understand the business syntax. You need to understand about how the overall team is operating. You need to work with agencies and all. You need to work with influencer. You need to work with like multiple stakeholders. Sometimes you have to deal the overseas foreign principals from where we are importing the products. So too many things at a time. But the thing is that to some extent I found that the learning that is the learning flow from the top management, that is from your supervisor to you, is not that much flexible. And if you are not a fast learner, then it's very hard to survive. And actually uh, from that very first day, I actually showed my agility to actually learn faster. I try to cooperate with my colleagues and teammates to understand about how things been evolving there and what's going on. And my management also admitted that I was a very fast learner, and I accommodated myself within a very short period of time with that team. And I have a good synergy with that team. Still, I have, though I left my very first job, but I still have very good synergy with my previous team actually. So yeah, the thing is that I'd like to mention here, you have to go with too many new things, and like if you are working with some engineering product or technical product, then of course you need to actually deep dive more about how about you should know that what is your product, then what its core USP, how it's been operating, and yeah, when I was like exploring my product, very first product, that is the generator. So I went through too many technical jargons, but eventually I identified something new, and it's the power of marketing actually. I found that I tried to find out some lackings. Like I found that they don't have any dedicated websites for their business, though they have some product that could be sold to direct consumer, that is the B2C product they have. Then also I found that there is some challenges. But people are asking for which generator will be perfect for them. So I incorporated a load calculator. So I take initiative for took an initiative for load calculator. Eventually with the help of some freelancers, I actually that is alive a dedicated website for my SBU actually, and it helped a lot afterwards during the time. It's the question for creating the awareness among the TZ, like to generate sales from the websites, and also the calculator, of course, which was the main pain points for the users to find out whether which generator is important for him. So I believe it was a very great achievement, and it was also admitted by management, and still my management is encashing this. Yeah, so that's a very good initiative from my end. So যেটা হয় তুমি যখন কোনো একটা অর্গানাইজেশনে যাবা, তো প্রতিটা মানুষেরই কিছু ইউনিকনেস থাকে, কিছু এক্সপার্টিস থাকে। তো ১ম এই যখনই তুমি অ্যাজ এ ফ্রেশার্স হিসেবে শুরু করবা, অ্যাকচুয়ালি you need to understand how business been operating and what expertise you have to actually prove yourself that you are something different from others. Otherwise তুমি যদি ওদের রেগুলার প্রসেসে ঢুকে যাও লাইক যখন যেটা ইনস্ট্রাকশন আসতেছে শুধু ওটুকুই করতেছো, তাইলে ওকে, you are not that much capable, I believe. But you should show something that is very unique, that will add value to that business, and eventually it will start creating the very first dependency upon you. So তোমাকে এভাবে চিন্তা করতে হবে। তো আমি হ্যাঁ, হয়তো কথাগুলো এমন শোনাচ্ছে যে আমি খুব হয়তো গুছিয়ে বলতে পারতেছি না। কিন্তু ইট ইস হোয়াট ইট ইজ। ঠিক আছে? তো তোমাকে এটাই করতে হবে যে যেটা তোমার অর্গানাইজেশনে ভ্যালু এড করে। And as I mentioned that in Bangladesh context, most often business are sales driven. So you should have some activities or KPIs that is directly relevant to sales. Otherwise, people won't value you, or organization won't value you in that way. So sometimes not that direct, but indirectly you have to influence on sales actually. Otherwise it's hard to actually prove yourself. That I faced very fast during my ex organization, during the timing of my ex organization. So yeah, and এর বাইরে যেটা করতে হবে, তুমি যখন তোমার প্রোডাক্ট, তোমার যে প্রোডাক্ট তোমাকে অ্যাসাইন করা হলো, ওই প্রোডাক্টের A to Z তোমাকে জানতে হবে। Whether it's a technical product, whether it's a medical product, whether it's like FMCG item, you need to know every parts, every components, every ingredients, so that you could actually connect the dot to make the proper communication plan. Otherwise, it's like if you don't know more about your product, then eventually you are limiting yourself. That whenever you are designing a campaign, designing a communication, then there is some limitation. Like you are relying on other source, and eventually you have some limited knowledge on your product, and the content will be like very boring. So yeah, that is the suggestion, that you need to understand very detailed about your product. And I have some experience, like as I started with very technical product, later on I have to study on like medical or lab equipments actually. So I'll share this story later on, that from a very draft or sketch to actually we can figure out a business actually. So yeah, that's the suggestion. That is the takeaway is to actually prove yourself with what expertise you possess with, and which will have direct impact on your business, to prove yourself someone outstanding in that organization, first of all. And second is know more detail about your product to design your campaign. Yeah, that's the takeaway. So আজকের মতো এই পর্যন্তই। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। পরের একটা ভিডিওতে আমি অন্য একটা বিষয় নিয়ে আর কি আলোচনা করব। থ্যাংক ইউ।